What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew? This is Ball Hawk Ifeatu Melifonwu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
All right, I'm muted. Well, sorry about that. All right, well, let's try that again. Sorry about that. Well, at least I caught it after 4 minutes. Sorry about that, guys. But hey, whatever it is, man. It's Thanksgiving. It happens. But that's it, Butsky. Yes, somewhere Broski is not doing too well with it. So sorry about the mute. It is what it is. It's a holiday, and you know what? I had the button muted. So how about them Lions? Let's start with that. Let's also start with this. The Lions found a way to go ahead and get a win. And yes, they're on their 28th and 29th guy at defensive end. I'm sorry I'm muted, and I'm sorry I just went through about 4 minutes of talking to you guys without knowing it. But hey, that mute button sometimes it is for real. I'm not going to make this a long one just because it is a holiday, and I'm going to spend more time with family. But I did want to go ahead and get over to you guys. We can't hear you in Brazil. Well, hopefully you can hear me now, David. Sorry about that. Trumpsy, we dominated the Bears. We did until we didn't. But I'll say this: you can dominate all you want. Let's real quick before we get out of here. Let's talk about the start of the game. We all get it. We settled for field goals instead of touchdowns. Gibbs has the fumble at whatever it was, the 4 or 5 yard line. Obviously, all those things went into helping the Chicago Bears. Jake Bates finally missed a field goal. That helped them. And then, yes, all the defensive injuries for the Lions. What more can you ask for other than the Lions found a way at the end of the day to get that win? Now you've got 7 days to try to rest, recover, and get ready for the next game, and that is going to be the Green Bay Packers. You're probably all going to be watching them tonight, trying to hope that the Miami Dolphins can pull off a bit of an upset there. Again, sorry about the mute. I'll have to put something in the description of the video, but at this point, who really cares? You found a way to win. You know, the Lions without Davis, without whoever you want to say on defense, they're all out. Malcolm Rodriguez hopefully isn't out very long, but you found another way to win. Over the course of this long season, there are going to be games you think that you should win easy. Nothing's easy in the NFL. We had a great start to the game. Probably could have put the door on him if we scored a few more touchdowns, or maybe he scored a touchdown right before halftime. That probably would have put the nail in the coffin, but unfortunately that didn't happen. I'll say this as a coach, give Chicago a lot of credit. They made some adjustments on their defense. They made some adjustments on their offense. And you know what? They caught us napping a little bit there. They found a way to keep on coming and keep on coming after us. They got some momentum. Lions lost momentum, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Move on from it, though. You can learn from it, and he still got the win. So what do we got the rest of the way? We all know it. We got the Green Bay Packers in 7 days. You got the Buffalo Bills in 10 days. That's going to be key to me, because if you can get through this Green Bay game, you've gone through a massive gauntlet of difficult games, in my opinion, in a short amount of time. Now you got 10 days to rest up, maybe get some of these injured guys back on the field, and then face Buffalo. Buffalo's not going to be an easy task, but you are going to have a little extra time to prepare for them, a little extra time to rest, and you know what? I'll take every advantage I can get to it. Let's see. Chicago gave the game away. Well, Eric, I would say this. They should have won. I would say this. You had a lot of things if in Chicago go their way, and they still couldn't win. Detroit Lions, you know what? Instead of getting field goals, get 7 points. Pass interference on 4th and whatever it was, 23. Yeah, especially when the ball is 15 yards away from the guy being thrown to. I'm not a fan of that one. I think that's probably not. I think that's the NFL trying to help your guys out, and you still blew it, Broski Bear. So, you know, whatever it is, Lions didn't play great, and they still found a way to win. I'll just go with that. Jameis Williams, hey, we're all going to be talking about it. This kid's got it. I mean, I love the kid to death, but stuff like this is reflective of his decision-making off the field, too. The two aren't different. I like the kid. He does have to grow up from it. We'll get into that maybe in the morning or something. Dang right about J-Mo. I get it, but you know what? Teachable moment. Going to have to keep him learning, but he's got to cool it out. Yeah, and I get it, man. At the start, can't hear me. Sorry about that, guys. I had it muted. My bad. Yep. So here's what it is. I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving. Hopefully it's a little bit better now that the Lions won. Max 77 Lions didn't look like Super Bowl team. Not at all in the second half. Nope. But you know what? You think about, let's just say the last 2 or 3 years that the Super Bowl teams have won. They haven't won dominatingly. I can think of a few games last year alone where the Kansas City Chiefs barely won, found a way to win, whatever you want to say. But you know what? They won. And that's what good teams do. You find a way. Za'Darius Smith gets that big sack towards the end. Whoever it was, I can't even remember. I think it was DJ Reader. No, Lee McNeil gets forces the holding call. All those come into play. So it is what it is. We didn't play great, but we played good enough to win. Eric, no, laughing out loud. Okay, buddy. Offense needs to step up too. Yes, they do. Let's see. Eberflus gave the Lions this game. I would say this, and I know the commentators talked about it, so you know you can dive into it. But you could see they just didn't know what to do in that situation. You don't spend a lot of time in practice with your football, basketball, whatever sport, but you do spend every week you do put in some time into these situations, just so when the situation arises, you and your team know what to do. You can do it without thinking. Watching how the mechanics came in from the sideline, plus what Caleb Williams was doing, you had a timeout. They clearly hadn't practiced this situation, and that's on the coaching staff. I'm not going to blame a rookie quarterback when it's my job as the boss, the coach, to make sure, hey, 15 minutes a week, we're going to work on this situation, this situation. You're deep enough in the season where that should have happened, so I'm going to blame the coach on that. Any given Sunday, you're 100% right, Bo. Anybody can win, anybody can lose, but the Detroit Lions found a way to win. It wasn't pretty, but it's a win. All right, let's keep going through here. Let's see. Sauce K, what do you got? Nick Wright will eat this up tomorrow. Goff throws ducks out there and looks slow in process. Maybe, man. I didn't really see anything myself. You can have your own opinion. I didn't see anything really with Goff what I thought was off with stuff. Give the Bears some credit. They did get after him a little bit. And to be fair, Dan Skipper, while he wasn't great, I didn't think he was egregiously bad. But the Bears, what they can do is they can create pressure and they can play man coverage. Same stuff that we're giving the Bears fits in the first half, we're giving us fits basically throughout the second half, I thought. But I'll watch more of the coaching film and try to get a bigger, deeper opinion on it. See, Bo, Chicago didn't give us anything. I'll go with that. Keith, that was close. It was. But you know what? Hey, you won a close game. Rich, 7 days to heal, and Bears coach loses games. 6 in a row, and I'm going to guess this might be the one that puts the nail in the coffin because we all know about the Washington game. And, yes, you got some players you can probably blame there too, not just coaches. But it's not just one or two things. You've gotten enough games, close games like this for Chicago where they easily could be a playoff team right now. They're easily not a playoff game right now, and a lot of it's their own doing. Who you want to put blame on, I'll leave that to you guys. Jared, the Lions defense stepped up, and championship teams find a way to win. You're not wrong there. Hunter, Max 77, it was a hard game. We are not going to blow everybody out. That's the hard part, I think. And you can have your own opinion. I got here basically, like a minute or so left in the game, watched it, and I saw some of the comments. And I guess just because I didn't want you guys to hear me breathing or whatever, I had it muted, and that's on me. But what I can say is most teams do find a way to be competitive. Most teams have fairly decent, talent. The difference from this game being a blowout, maybe like 50 to 10 or whatever, and it being close, is the Lions settled for field goals early. They missed the field goal, and then some of those injuries. Make no mistake about it. The Lions were gassing what few defensive players they have. There were no backups in the secondary. There were probably 0 backups on that defensive line at this point because once Lee McNeil went out, Wingo went out, and then Pascal went out, there's only so many subs. So let that sink in. Everybody wants to be a naysayer about this, that, and the other thing. Think about what the Lions just did with, how many backup defensive ends do you think we actually have on the team? Let alone that can affect a game. The fact that you just pulled this win off when you're on their 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th defensive end, that's credit, and especially the fact that they generated some pressure on them. Southwest line, it actually looked more like holding than pass interference. It could have been defensive holding or whatever, but again, with it being so far away, and in my opinion, at least from the replay I saw, that stuff was ticky-tack. Remember on the first drive, while I was still here calling the game, St. Brown runs a slant in the end zone. I can't think of the defensive player for the Bears. He gets 2 hands on him and shoves him. That should have been clear pass interference. You let that go as a refereeing crew, and yet on 4th and forever, the little amount of contact you call on that play is not consistent with that. I didn't think that crew did a great job. And that wasn't just those plays. I'm trying to be as universally neutral as I can be. If you establish this is legal on that non-interference or whatever you want to call it to St. Brown, then how can just that little amount of contact on an uncatchable pass be a defensive pass interference? That's my opinion. Buddy, game changed when Pascal went down. I'd say, that, and then Levi Onwuzurike. You could tell they were Zadarius Smith, my guess, he came out a lot in the 4th quarter because of injury. He was just gassed, man. Gassed, probably everything hurting in the body, probably pulled a few things. He's going to need a few days off. Hookadoo, Eric, I believe Best Buy has TVs on sale. Could be. Bruce, JMO is wearing real thin with me. That's going to be one of the big things to talk about over these next 7 days. He's got to learn. Obviously there's talent. I think everybody would say he's a good kid and everything, but he's got to learn not to do stuff like that. And no different than the Bears player, Keelan Allen. I get your helmet got taken off and everything. He's yelling and screaming. I think the refs let him go for a 1 count, a 2 count, a 3 count. When they got to about 5, 6, 7, and you're still complaining about it, you just push the fold too much. You made your point on the first 3 seconds. After that, man, you've got to know to cool off. And unfortunately, they didn't overcome it, but he put his team in a bad position. Did Dr. Troy Broski looking stupid? Probably. Jared Jamo should be benched. I did see he didn't come back in right away, so I'm guessing they're going to have a firm talking with him about stuff like that. Corey, you guys are management. Let the deal with Jamo. Yeah, let them deal with Jamo. 100% with that, Corey. Harrisville, I'm more upset about Jamo penalty than anything off the field. Good teaching moment, and they will still won. They did, 100%. Giovanni Lano, not their best game. Sheila, woo! You want a woo? I'll give you a woo. 1, 2, 3, just because I kind of owe you guys after having it muted at the start. And there you go. Robert, love Jamo, but he's got to grow up. He does indeed. Coach Rock, this game, the Lions would have lost in the past. That's probably true. Bo, great Thanksgiving, Coach. You know, it's going to be a whole lot better knowing the fact that we won. Trump, I would bench him. Yeah, you got to do something. I don't know if they'll bench him, but they got to do something to get that point across. He's got to learn too. And I'm going to guess St. Brown and other guys on the team are going to reach out and talk to him, and he's probably going to get tired hearing about it, but he's also probably aware that cost him probably an easier first down. And St. Brown's catch, if there isn't that penalty from Jamo, that's a first down. You keep on rolling and going. Back 77, refs messed with us when they threw that flag on Jamo tossing the ball after second down. Refs didn't want to spread to be covered. Okay, that could be. Dr. Detroit, Jamo, and a first for Crosby, probably not happening. Probably not. Dennis, happy Thanksgiving. Back at you. Rocky, Barry, and Jamo need to have a talk if he'll listen. See, Corey, Jamo ain't going nowhere, and the Max Crosby people just give it up not having. Yeah, I especially at this point, it would have to be in the offseason, so I'm only going to worry about the season right now. The Stoners, I'm benching Jamo on my fantasy team next week just for his foolishness. Okay. Doug, up 13-0 the first quarter, and then scoring went south at that point. No TD when we were running so well. We were, the Bears made some adjustments. It did seem like the Lions' answer for a lot of those adjustments would have put Montgomery or Gibbs out wide, figure out the coverage, bring him back. So I'm going to say this. From a coaching standpoint, to me, that means Ben Johnson caught off guard, did not have an easy answer for what they just threw at him, and really, he didn't have it all game long, in my opinion. So he's going to have to figure it out. He came out on fire. We all get it. But then the Bears found something he couldn't answer. And what do we talk about? Or at least I talk about on the show for years. As a coach, the longer you're around, the harder it is to catch you off guard with things because you've seen it more and more over time. And that's why I think Ben Johnson, man, he's going to have to watch a lot of this film because this will be replicated. This will be replicated by Green Bay. This will be replicated by Buffalo. It will be whoever. Until you can prove you can beat it, people are going to keep it on you. The W was great, but the Lions have some cleaning to do. 100% with that. It's a learning opportunity. True, I like Jamo, but we shouldn't trade him or bench him. Just need to get guided for real. Yeah, I'm down with that. Help him grow, help him learn. Okay, Duke, my sister is upset. I got to go. Happy Thanksgiving. Back at you. Go have a good one, my friend. Harrisville, Russ must have won some big money fixing that game against the spread. Maybe. Brent, win ugly? Question mark. Just win, baby. Exclamation point. 11-1 first time since when? I think ever, to be honest. Maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's the first time ever. Let's see, Bo, professional coaching, mistakes happen. It does indeed. Dr. Detroit, free Jamo, maybe? I'm not sure, man. Let's see, Matty B, we are too depleted. We are too depleted, but still found a way to do it. Corey, straight clown. All right. Harrisville, golf was fine. The Lions play calling was pretty reasonable on offense. All right. Flathead Bears are good at covering the Lions wide receivers. They did a good job with that for sure. Jared Smith came up big. So did Muhammad. No mistakes there. They did. They might be players of the game. Doug, we lost all of our alignment is how Chicago got better. 100%. Could stop rotating people and stop throwing bodies at them. When is Houston coming back? He's a Cleveland Brown now. Both Bears never quit, but we won. We did indeed. Courtney, wow! Exclamation point! Ugly winning. Broski will boast. Hey, let him boast all you want, man. You can if you want to boast about a loss, go for it, man. Have fun with that. Maybe Houston is on the Browns. He is. Dragon fan Tim. Holy hex! That was a crazy game, but we are 11-1 now. 11-1. 7 much needed days to rest. Probably get Taylor Decker back. Probably I'm hoping get Carlton Davis back. Who knows after that, man? Hopefully you get a lot of people back. Flathead Frank, Bears need to lose for draft position. Could be. Matty B, can't have a block field goal if you don't kick one. Now that's some outside the box thinking there, Matty. Dr. Detroit, Jamo, and a first for Garrett. We'll see if they go for it. Doug, we could have had more TDs. We could have indeed. Chris, did the clock run out with the Bears having a timeout tomorrow? It did. That was the surprising part. I thought once it got down to about 13 seconds, they would call a timeout because they were clearly not set. Didn't seem like they had even the play in from the sideline. And then it got down to 10. And I was like, man, even if you call the timeout now, you don't have great situations. And then it got down to, whatever it was, 6 or 7 when they snapped it. I was like, there's almost no chance here. It's all or nothing now because the ball's going to go through the air. You got to get somebody down. Is what it is. They beat themselves. Jared Goff played good. I thought, yeah, not bad, not great, not bad, but a lot of that I thought was on the Bears. Danny Dono, the Lions lucked out. They better get their act together. Hey, not every game's going to be a blowout, but you know what they did? They won, and they will learn from it. At least I sure hope they do. Max77, what's wrong with the offense? The other team played some defense. Harrisville, rivalry games going to be tight. Season starts now. It does indeed. But you know what you are? You are 3-0 in the NFC North. That's key right now. Maybe Chris White, yep. Let's see, Bo, what coulda, woulda. Yes, yeah, what could have been. But here's what we know. We won. Dr. Detroit, next week will be a wake-up call, probably. Harrisville, if Gibbs doesn't fumble, this game never gets close. I would say that too. I think they probably would have scored that possession. Of course, I would have thought they would have scored one 1st and 3 too. But it is what it is. You're going to have to learn from it. I know some of you guys were mentioning the Panay Sewell thing. I wasn't a fan of it as coaching staff, or excuse me, as a coach myself. Maybe later in the game or something like that, early in the game, it's still a game, man. You just do what you do well. Both a freaking fumble by Gibbs, otherwise it's not even close. Probably true. Day, no worries, Dan. You're being muted for long stretches is well-established lore now. It's very much on brand with this channel. Thank you for that. I do try to set a trend for others to follow. To see Matty B, I'm not naysaying, but we can't keep this up without linebackers, corners, and rushers. You're 100% right. Hopefully Malcolm Rodriguez is fine. We don't know that, though. We've probably got, I would say, 3 to 4 more weeks until Alex Anzalone's back. Derek Barnes, who knows? And let alone the defensive ends. If something's up with knees and hamstrings, some of those guys can be out for a while. Don Jamo owes the Bears coach a Christmas present, probably. maybe a grand turkey. Keith, great win, exclamation point. We got to sharpen some things up. We do. Learn from it. Lions Talk Live fam. I called Lions by 1-3. Okay, you made a great call, my friend Corey. Rushing the QB is still a problem as well. It is. Harrisville, those refs were horrible all game. Might be some truth to that. I think the NFL was not anticipating it being that close. I will also say I think the NFL may have chosen to assist with a few of those calls. And anybody who's watched this channel, I don't try to be some conspiracy theorist with tin foil around the head, but watching some of those calls, especially that big one on 4th and whatever it was, 20-something, man, you are so far away from the pass, and it doesn't look like the receiver's making any attempt to go back to the ball. I thought, man, that's woo. Rocky M, that's right, coach. We won this game with the next man up, and I will take that win any day. Woo! I'll go with that. Not just the next man up, the next man to the next man to the next man to the next man. We got the guy behind even that guy. So we grabbed some dudes off the street and said, hey, can you go rush the quarterback? Here's a jersey. Doug, the guy who blew up Gibbs was a missed block by Glasgow. Might be. The NFL loves controversy. You're not wrong there. Doug, our defense played pretty good even to win. I'll agree with that. See, Harrisville rushing the quarterback won the game for us. Everyone on the D line was gassed, and they still pulled it off. You couldn't be more right if you tried. I will give you, how about this, just because that's a great comment. I mean, those guys had 0 left in the tank. Those dudes are going to be so sore and so spent. They need tomorrow off, Saturday off, Sunday off, and then they probably got to come back in on Monday. But those guys are going to be feeling it for a few days. You're spot on, man. They gave it everything they had. See, Doug, JMO still has to learn this isn't 3rd and 3-on-1 street ball. I'm down with that. Corey, not good enough to beat better teams. Hey, it was good enough today, though, and they got to keep learning from it. Keep learning. See, Bo, Rushers got close a bunch. Caleb played hero ball. He did, and he made some things happen. He played like a little bit more like USC, Caleb Williams. Harrisville wide receivers going to be wide receiver divas. Okay. Corey finally did get one all day. Okay. Kenneth, what do you got? The game was too close for comfort. Just win. Yeah, just win. At the end of the day, that's all that matters, man. Find a way to win. I don't care if we win the playoffs by 1 point every game. It's still a win. Trump's, at least JMO hit him in the mouth with the ball. He did. He's got real good accuracy. Hardy, Z won that game and terrible coaching by Chicago. Both are true, I think. Let's see, Hardy, I hope they heal up for next Thursday. They're going to need it. Eric, been a Lions fan for 40 years. Sorry if my comment was taken as it was. Happy they won no matter how ugly. I agree with you 100%, man. 100% with that. So thoughts and prayers, though, to anybody, I guess, upset by the prior comment. All right, Keith, hopefully we get our guys back. Hopefully. Bo, I saw our wide receiver coach giving JMO an earful. I did see that. They had good camera work on the sideline. Was it Antoine Randall L, I believe? Let's see, Jared, surprised Campbell didn't go for it more on fourth down. Yeah, there was a couple I thought he was going to. James, when are we going to get a cornerback to replace Vildor? When somebody else is available. I mean, that's the hard part right now. The coaches are telling you, in their opinion, there ain't nobody better than Vildor right now. All right, Corey, 11-1 through this is insane and still hard to believe. Hard to believe indeed. Vlad, what stinks is that this was one of JMO's best games. It was. And then there was a learning opportunity. Bo, 10 straight and 11-1. Well, yes, we are. James, refs missed the false start on that fourth down play. They let a lot of holding by Chicago go. I'll just say this about the holding. I think the refs knew Chicago's line was struggling. I'll use this as a reference. Come to your own conclusion. The first game of the year against the Rams, I pointed out, man, they understand there's a lot of backups on this line for the Rams. They're letting some stuff go until the game got close, and then they called a few. Corey, yes, and yes, Vildor has got to go. Dude is terrible, horrible. At times, you can't at least afford it. I get it, but who are you going to bring in that's better? That's what I would ask. And me just being a coach here, if we get rid of Vildor and put him on the bench, who is going to be better who's on the bench? And we can all say the next guy's got to be better. What if they're not? What if they're actually worse? Jared, a lot of holding, no calls on the Bears. I'll go with that. Doug, we are at the 3. All right, we are. Brian P., that game came near, gave me a heart attack. Yes, it did. It did. And yeah, I know we were at the 3. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Lions talk about maybe J.J. Watt feels sorry for all of our injuries and comes out to help. Maybe. We'll see if he does. All right, guys, I've given you almost a half hour here. I'll go ahead and just say this. It is Thanksgiving. I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of the day off unless there is some breaking news. I hope you all have a great one. Go eat some turkey or whatever you're going to eat. Go spend some time with your family. Have a great one. Enjoy the fact your Detroit Lions found a way to win, are 11-1, and somewhere, just consider this before you check out of here. Somewhere out there, there's a guy named Broski who is probably destroyed 4 TVs, probably going down the street right now, beating up the windshields of somebody's car and cursing everybody out there in the universe who will listen, because his Chicago Bears, at least had a chance to tie. And you know what they didn't do? They didn't call a timeout. They didn't kick a field goal. They didn't tie the game up. And you know what? At the end of the day, they still lost. So keep that in mind when you're saying thanks. Be thankful you're not Broski Bear right now. All right, guys, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you guys all on the next Lions Talk Live.
Excuse me, sir, would you... Donations to Reverend Moon? Jews for Jesus?
Read about Jehovah's Witness? How about Buddhism?
Of Jerry's kids?
Oh, yeah.
Scientology?
Or nuclear power?